We all bitch about the employees, right? We bitch that there's not enough good talent. We bitch that no one really finds us. We don't have a good employee pool to pick from. That's on us. I got to put myself out there and I got to say, here's our sign company. Come walk our booth. Advertise that we're going to open up our doors for opening day, kind of like the Padres opening day and you walk around the stadiums for the baseball. Why can't we do that for the signage industry? All right. Hello. How we doing on this beautiful day? I had a unique situation that 99% of the time we're never going to get to have. You see it in all the movies, but you never really do it in real life. My daughter had career day, and they asked the parents to come in and talk about their jobs and what they did. I decided not to talk to them about SquareCoil, the software company, because frankly, nobody cares. Come on, it's boring as all hell. But I said the sign company could be really cool. So this is what I did. I went in the classroom. I brought an illuminated letter with me. I brought a bunch of FCO letters with me. And as I said, all right, guys, how are we doing this morning? And all the kids were like, good. I'm like, no, how are we doing today? And they all screamed, good. And they all got excited. And I said, all right, I'm going to pass out some letters, take a look at them and pass it to the next person. And I handed out an FCO letter with metal mica, and a free-formed Gemini letter. And they started passing out, they're touching and feeling. And I said, how do you think this letter was made? A couple of kids raised their hands and they had a couple questions, and none of them really hit the nail on the head. Nobody knows what a router is. They're age 9, they're in 4th grade. They don't know what a router is, but I explained the router and I said, okay, you guys never seen a graph before? And they said, yes. And they said, have you do math? You know what 2 plus 2 is? And they all laughed and they yelled 4. And I said, all right, a graph and the router are the same thing. We're going to put points, little GPS coordinates on little dots. And I drew out a graph. And I said, and the router is going to follow that 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. And it's going to cut a line. And that's how the letter you're holding is made. So, of course, the kids' eyes light up. And I said, just because you think math isn't important, math is very important. That is how the router moves through a stepper motor and how it's going to go. And I said, after the router, then what we do is we polish the letter. And I told them about flames and heat. And when it does the acrylic, it melts it and makes it look like glass. And of course, we're talking about fire, so the kids are pumped. And then afterwards, I said, okay, we go to the paint department. We got to mix the paint. And it's a lot like, fingernail polish. It's going to harden on the letter, not so much a paint like a water-based paint. And so we just walk through the style of being a letter bill. And so the kids are like, well, how long have you been in business? And, what other cool things have you done? And so we showed a big gateway sign that we did for Old Town. It goes up 20 feet and spans over a 50-foot driveway. And we explained how that was built. And I told them the size of the concrete footing we had to do for how big this project was. And you could see them get excited about it. And I said, now, who is an artist here? Who thinks they can draw really good? And the little kids, they were instantly looking at, their artwork, and they raised their hand. They said, I'm really good at the art. I'm really good with drawing and stuff. Perfect. We need artists in the signage industry. Why? Because the creative ideas are what makes beautiful signs. And so it was just really neat to watch the artistic side of the kids pop up, the mathematician side on the router. And then after that, I broke apart what do I call our second generation acrylic letters, where you take a piece of acrylic, you hog out the inside. You take another piece of acrylic, that you hog out that inside, a 1 inch and a 1 inch. We build a small prism of 1/8 inch acrylic that's all cut in little diamonds and triangles, put the LEDs below it, put the prism in, and then put the 2 letters together. By doing that, it has a 2-inch thick letter, and the edges and the face all glow a color. Very specialized. Not many sign companies do that, but it's a really neat product, and our clients love it. So I brought this letter in, turned it on. Of course, something lit up, so the little kids were stoked. And then I took the letter apart and showed them what the prism does and showed them how it reflects light. And then I told them, I said, hey guys, think about what we just did. The artistry built the shape of the letter. We designed it. The mathematician cut the letter, made it all neat. The scientist figured out the prism side of it. I said, so all of your schoolwork is all leading together and working together to build a sign. Just want to take a moment to talk about SquareCoil here. SquareCoil has been powering the signage industry since 2011, and we're only growing bigger and better and stronger every single day. Some of the latest updates have just made my life a lot easier. I'm sure it's going to make your life a lot easier. So if you haven't checked us out, go ahead and get on our website, SquareCoil.com. Take a look. And if you have an outdated key, an old software program that's going to be closing its doors this year, definitely take a look at us because we can make that transition real simple for you. Take a look, SquareCoil.com. Of course, the kids are like, ooh, and they're asking little silly questions. How big is that letter? How bright is it? And I said, it's kind of like a mag light, this is the brightness. It lights up a room. So we shut the lights off and you can see the letter, blew a bunch of light all the way through the classroom. It was a very interesting thing. Now, I gave the presentation to make the kids want to stay in school. My goal for them was, hey, the stuff you're learning is really neat and really exciting. Don't give up on it and don't go, man, I don't need it in life. That was really my goal. No 9-year-old really wants to grow up to be a sign guy. They don't care. They're still trying to figure out if unicorns and Santa Claus are real, right? So they don't care. But when I walked out of there, I had such a sense of pride for what we do in our industry. And I had such a good feeling in my stomach saying, man, we do all this stuff for our clients. We turn their thoughts into reality. We put these beautiful signs on the wall that everybody gets to see and admire. And no one really steps back and stops to say how cool it is. I'm pushing 25, 30 years in this industry, and I've given up on the cool factor. It's just a day-to-day grind for me. And I never really stopped to look at it in the past, let's say 2 years. We do some really cool things. We do some amazing things. And I got to tell you guys, stop, smell the roses, so to speak. Look at how cool of a business and an industry we get to be in. Now, one thing that I was thought about here, and this is where I want to take this podcast is, we all bitch about the employees, right? We bitch that there's not enough good talent. We bitch that no one really finds us. We don't have a good employee pool to pick from. That's on us. We don't really advertise it. We don't really show them what this career could look like. We don't let anybody open the four walls and say, hey, this is a career path. This is an industry. It's really neat. You can do well for yourself and provide for your family. We don't do that. So as I'm trying to figure out how to find a new talent pool, I got to put myself out there and I got to say, here's our sign company. Come walk our booth, advertise that we're going to open up our doors for opening day, kind of like the Pirates opening day and you walk around the stadiums for the baseball. Why can't we do that for the signage industry? Why can't we open up our doors on, certain days? Each city, each town has career day or business day or something of that nature. Go find your local municipalities and ask them, I would want to open up my business. I want to teach people what I do. We can literally pick from every walk of life, right? We got our type A OCDs. Those are our salespeople or our accountants. We got our type B or the left side of the brain, the artistry to create creative things, figure out new ways to build it, whether we use adhesives or staples or rivets. There's so many different avenues on how to build a sign, but we don't share it. So my call to you guys, my call to action on all of this is go open your doors and allow people to come in and see what you do. It's amazing. It's cool. There's not one person I've shown our sign company that goes, so what? We don't get it. It's a neat thing. It's a really cool industry. The more I think we showcase our sign companies in our local areas and local chapters and cities and municipalities, I believe our talent pool is going to get better. I believe we're going to have more people coming in and trying to be a part of our industry and want to be, add their creative talents to the pool. So my call to action to you guys is open your doors once a year. It's not that hard, but it could lead to some really good employees. I hope you guys take me up on that one. I know for a fact I'm doing it. As I know more, I will let you know. And please write to us and tell us how you've been going. More information I get, the more I'm going to share it here. So can't wait to hear from you guys. See you next week.